Hey, welcome back to Jamieson's Repair Shop. Doing a little video here. Today, I've got a few things to do this weekend. So this is Saturday, end of February. On my old truck, I broke a striker bolt. It didn't break the bolt, but it broke the plastic that goes on that bolt. And anybody's familiar with these striker bolts, it's just like a Teflon liner or whatever it is on there. And once they break off, the door won't completely close. It's just on the safety latch. So I've got to replace that striker bolt on the old F100. And so I haven't got to working on the Thunderbird any. But what I have done, I started de-rusting the seat pedestal. I'm using phosphoric acid for this. Now, there's quite a few ways to do it. Nick brought up in the comments from my last video when I removed the seat pedestal about using the metal rescue. It's a great way to go for sure. It would take a lot though. That's a big piece, and I priced it out locally for me to get the metal rescue. It's almost $50 a gallon, and it would take a significant amount of gallons to completely submerge that piece. So that wasn't going to happen, not at that price. Now that we're summertime, or even in the spring, warm enough that I can work outside, I have some 45-gallon drums, and I would fill it up with water and use my pool chemicals, the pH reducing. That works really well, but I don't like doing it inside the shop because the off gas from it will rust a lot of the metal in the shop, like your tools and stuff like that. So if it were outside and not almost 30 degrees below Celsius, like it is right now, and you can hear the furnace running in the garage here in the background, I would definitely de-rust this piece in a 45-gallon drum outside, and it would come out completely rust-free. So what I've chosen to do is use phosphoric acid. Now, I have some two types of products that I use for this. And I started out using the efflorescent remover for concrete because it's 30 to 40% phosphoric acid. And then last spring when I was went down to the US for a short trip, I picked up some concrete and metal prep by, I think you'll see it in here. What is that stuff? Oh, Clean Strip. It's by Clean Strip. So I'm using that to de-rust the seat pedestal, and I did it on time lapse. So this whole video after I'm done speaking, for the most part, will be time lapse. And I'm going to go pretty quick with it. I'm going to crank it up to like a 1500 times speed. So it won't be a very long video. But I wanted to show it in action as it's happening in the progress of from rusty to what this product will do. And for this seat pedestal, I think it's okay. It's going to be just fine. Where if it were a part where I'm going to seed and you wanted a really nice finish on it, you might want to try something else. But for this, because most of it, all of this is going to be hidden. Some will be hidden by carpet, and some is going to be, it'll be just welded down, and it'll be the underside of the seat pedestal. So anyway, I do a lot of talking here. I'm going to swing you around, and I'm going to show you the products I use, and you'll see them in the time lapse, but let's talk a little bit about them. So, well, actually, I can do it right here. I'm standing here. So, like I said, I have the Clean Strip product, and it's for concrete and metal prep. And when I did the bottom, I just mixed both of them. I didn't really have a preference. I just went use them both. But when I did the top of the seat pedestal and I flipped it over, I did one side with this and the other side with, give me a second here, this Rust-Oleum rock solid efflorescent remover. So I wanted to see if they had any different capabilities, or which one was better, which one wasn't. I do think the Clean Strip does a better job, but it's just marginally. This does really well, and in Canada, if you're working in Canada, most likely this is all you'll be able to get. And I get this at Canadian Tire, and it's in the concrete, like concrete patching and that kind of thing section. So you go to Canadian Tire, Rust-Oleum Rock Solid. This stuff is mostly phosphoric acid and distilled water. The clean strip stuff, like I said, I bought this down in the US at Home Depot. The rock solid is, I think I paid $35 a gallon. It's like the 40 something now. I'd have to check, but I'm not sure, but whatever the current price is. This I paid, I think it was only $18. I'm not 100% sure if I remember correctly on it. But I do believe this one works just a slight bit better. And you'll notice in the video, when I do with this side, it foams up if you agitate the stuff, where the efflorescent, the rock solid stuff doesn't foam up. So whatever's in this has a bit of a foaming agent in it, and it seems to do quite well. Anyway, enough talking. Put that away. Enough talking about it. Let's get on it. I'll get you spun around, and we'll start with the time lapse of this thing. There she is. I've got her de-rusted, and the rust that's left there is neutralized. It turns black and it becomes neutralized. The top will have to sit another 24 hours. The bottom have already been sitting for 24 hours on the inside, rather. So I did that through the week, but this has just been freshly done. And what happens to it, it leaves sort of like a glaze on it, like a protectant coating. And this is not something I come up with on my own. This is how it's done, pickling metal. And in the manufacturing industry, it's done all the time using phosphoric acid to protect metal. When water gets on this now, once it's dried on there for 24 hours, when water hits it, you'll get a white chalky look to it. So for all intents and purposes, this is ready to go. If you do find it's ready to be painted, rather. Or primed. So if you do find it is have chalky, you wipe the chalky stuff off, and it's recommended you go over it with an alcohol or a mineral spirits, something to get rid of any grease that maybe get on it, and then it's ready for paint. It saves a lot of grinding and just general mess. Though, like I said before earlier on, that if you're doing this on a piece of metal that it needs to be a really nice finish on it, well, this probably isn't the best way to do it. You might want to bead blast it or something like that. Anyhow, I'm going to let this dry for 24 hours, and we'll be ready to paint it. Now I'm not going to paint it right away because I got to fix all the flanges, but the longer it sits, the more cured it will be. So that's it. I'm going to leave it right there, and we'll see you in the next one.